Hello and welcome to Three Dudes and a Lady. Join us for a little motivation and a little inspiration and perhaps a way to cope with your day. I am Mike from Virginia and my gratitude today is for nature.
Good morning, folks. My name is Earl, hailing from the beautiful state of North Carolina. My gratitude for today is waking up to a sunny morning.
Hey guys, I am Christine Wright, hailing out of the great state of Florida. My gratitude is for Jay Shetty's topic today, burnout, right? He was talking about how we often talk about ourselves as batteries. We get depleted and have to recharge, right? It's by connecting to an energy source that we get this recharge, right? But sometimes instead of unplugging, we may need to plug into something else, right? It's about finding what that power source is for us. A lot of times it's scale back, do less, maybe do nothing at all, but sometimes that does not help us. Um, Laying low made her like he was talking about a writer journalist and how she was experiencing burnout, right? But laying low made her feel lethargic and alone, so that did not help her. She was burnt out by doing too much of the same thing over and over again, right? Which happens in our daily lives. So she needed something to satisfy another part of her brain. It's not about being overworked. Sometimes it's about being undernourished, right? Instead of just powering down, we may need to find something that's going to fuel us, right? We crave meaning and fulfillment. We need the satisfaction of getting stuff done, right? What restores us can vary from one person to the next, right? What restores me may not restore Mike or Earl. For instance, he gave us an example about being at your computer all day, doing the same type of work, right? So sometimes switching over to like a physical work may help us, right? We struggle with thinking that we need to be productive, but that's not always the case either. Sometimes we do need rest, but other times it may be time to dig into something else. Um, I love this topic. This was me yesterday all the way. Like I felt burnout by 3 or 4 in the afternoon. So a couple weeks ago, maybe 3 or 4 weeks ago, Mike hit one of our sheds on our property with the tractor. Like the building got hit by accident. It was an accident, but it happened, right? So we had to repair this building. And so yesterday, Mike and I are like, well, let's go paint it. So for me, if I experience burnout with one thing, usually fixing something or painting something or remodeling something fixes that burnout for me. It for some reason that physical labor gives me energy and motivation to keep moving forward, right? Because yesterday was a bad day, and then all of a sudden we started painting, and I was like, oh, and I felt 100% better. I was like, wow, this is crazy. So maybe I needed to go into project management. I don't know, or remodel or something. But usually with me, remodeling something or fixing something or that physical activity gets me out of my own way, right? What do you guys think? Earl, Mike, how do you guys feel? Like, first off, like, what's one of the things that helps you get over burnout?
I I
Because you
think
guys
for
are going to
me,
be different.
I think for me personally, uh, like in my case, like over the course of the weekend, when I start feeling burnout, being in nature, being around, water, lakes, or just, when the weather's nice, or being around good friends, but being around nature I think kind of helps me a little bit because it's God's gift for us to enjoy, what nature brings,
For sure.
and the green grass, the trees, and just that peace and quiet, but the the smell of nature.
Yeah.
Now,
Love
granted,
it.
I couldn't make it to the beach. I mean, it's been hot around here in North Carolina,
Oh,
and
yeah.
maybe being at the beach may not have been a good idea for me. But explain, being up near a lake where it's it just maybe just a little bit cooler, but in experiencing just taking a deep breath and just knowing that just telling yourself you got this.
Yeah.
And sometimes it's different for everybody. It's different for everybody.
It is, for sure.
And like I've seen people go bike right now. I love to get back into bike riding. I don't know how much more my knees can take of it, but bike riding on a bike trail used to be mine. I listen to some music, go on a bike trail, go for a bike ride. That get the heart going and the legs going too. And that could work as well. It's going
Yeah,
to be different for everyone, but experiencing burnout, it's real. It's real.
100%.
So yeah, I think it's a matter of how we um, analyze ourselves to what when we experience that burnout, how we put out the fire. What's the best way for us to get through that?
Right. And each of us is going to be different in finding what works for us, right?
Correct.
Like for me, it's physical activity or physical work, right? Mike, what about you?
Yeah, this subject is really good for me. I coined the phrase creative procrastination when I was in college. And it's kind of the same thing. You're what triggered it was, studying for finals and like I can't look at this book another minute, right? So believe it or not, I would bake.
You would bake?
Yes.
Yeah,
And I still do it if it gets really bad. I mean, temporary burnout, walk the dog. It's just restorative. But
right.
if it gets really bad, I may make a meatloaf or a quiche or a cake or
Nice.
pie. But not that I
Actually,
even want to eat it. I just
You just want to,
it's,
it helps it helps get your mind off of whatever it is that's causing the burnout. And you're shifting into a whole nother project, so to speak, right?
yeah. And I was a I was a biology major. We did labs. So a
Yeah,
recipe is definitely but lab instructions. That's all
absolutely.
it is.
Yeah.
Mixing proportions in the right ingredients, the right proportions. Yeah.
So we
hey,
know you're burnout if we come to your house and there's a quiche and meatloaf and potatoes and all the fixings, right?
One of my
yeah,
best friends from Rotary is just dying for me to make another chocolate pound cake because every time I do it, I either give her the whole thing or give her half.
Nice. Yeah, I love that. That's awesome.
I,
My youngest daughter is the same way. When she experiences burnout or is stressed out or something's affecting her mind, she bakes. Like she'll bake cookies or some like a banana bread. Like she's definitely really good at it for a 14-year-old, and she's been doing it for the last couple of years. But it's one of those things that like if you know there's cookies that were made the night before, like unless one of us asked her, because sometimes we'll ask her, "Hey, you want to make some cookies for us?" You know, but it's just the way some people handle it. I love that. Earl, what were we gonna say?
I spoke about nature, but I think the next best thing, especially during the cold months, baking would be my thing, either cooking or baking, because one of my things I've been baking. I found the recipe. I think I found it on social media. It's for an apple cake. And basically, you
Mhm.
just take some chopped apples and make this like cake mixture, and you just pour it over the pan, put it in the oven. Now, unlike cooking, baking is a science. You're supposed to get the ingredients down to a science when you're baking. All right. With cooking, if you're cooking a recipe, you could alter it. I mean, if it needs a little more salt, do it. If it needs to sweeten it up, do it. You like it spicy, do it. So, uh,
Here's the
just
thing, though, Earl.
what?
You say baking is a science, and you're right, but science leads to experimentation.
Well,
So you can't alter the ingredients.
well, what the point? What I should have been more clear on is when you're baking, especially with bread. If you have something that's got to rise, yeah, you gotta be a little more
Yeah.
careful on that.
Right.
Like with the anything with yeast, you got to be careful with that. You got to make sure the water is at proper temperature. If you're gonna add a little sweetener to it, um, like I said, yeah, you can experiment with it, but you got to be careful how you do it because it could ruin it. Unlike cooking, Of course, anybody can ruin cooking.
Many years ago, I got invited to one of these all-day events where, you know, uh, different speakers came in. We had like Joe Gibbs and the guy who used to be on CNN who passed away. But the first, very, and I'm glad I got there early. The very first speaker was Debbie Fields, Mrs. Fields Cookies, and
That there's a
Oh,
story right there.
she said the way she came up with the recipe is she kept increasing the butter until the cookie tastes like butter, and then she backed it back. So that was an experiment.
right. So it's crazy that you say that, Mike, because Ann Byler, which is the Annie Ann's girl, the lady that
Uh,
made Annie Ann's,
yeah,
the way the pretzel was made was by a mistake ingredient. Now we don't know what that ingredient is because she doesn't share it, but because that'll give her recipe away. But she said it was a mistake. We put something in there that we weren't supposed to put in, and it ended up making the pretzel.
yeah.
So it's so crazy. Like you make a mistake and it makes it even better, right? But
Yeah.
I love this topic. Like it's so good. All of us have different avenues of how we handle burnout, right? But some people don't even understand what Jay was talking about. Like some people will try to rest, right? Because automatically burnout, they thinking, I need to rest, I need to recharge, I need this or I need that. But sometimes that's not what we need at all, right?
Here's another thing, Christine. And this is something that works for me. Yeah, rest I think is important. If you smell burnout, you gotta take a 15-20 minute power nap just to kind of regroup your brain. But if you know that like baking or cooking comes in, don't be afraid to get in the kitchen and make a small recipe because something smells. Good smells. I mean, for me, when I'm baking, I use my grandma's recipe for apple pie, and she just puts in enough cinnamon and nutmeg in there that when it's in the oven, you can smell it, and those smells are like it triggers your mind saying, "Ah, I feel better now."
I
It's
want
and that,
apple pie now. Thank you very much.
yes,
I mean, it
well,
is that time of year, right?
my grandmother, I mean, my grandma raised 9 kids. All
Yeah,
right, she was old school. But she made
you
the
have to
best
be.
apple. She made the best apple pie in my opinion. Because of course, I'm going to say that I'm biased.
Right.
But the thing is, she put a lot of love into it. And
Mhm.
any apples that were left over, she would make an apple cake. I don't remember the recipe that she used, but she would make like apple squares. But the point that I'm making is when you walked into our house, like during the holidays, it's the smells. You can smell
Oh,
it in the oven.
for
And then
sure.
sometimes those smells, you're like, just sit down, just take it on. Hi, Grandma. Nice to see you. You know,
Right. It's kind of like that, even that memory, like of you being able to smell like that might
a-
cure you from burnout.
aromatherapy. That's the one I'm
Yes,
looking for.
aromatherapy. There we
Yes,
go.
yes.
Yes.
For sure.
Yeah, so something weird happened about a year ago. Still kind of freaks me out. Going through a box in my basement, some things that came from my mom's house. When there was a notebook in there that I swear I'd never seen before. It had recipes in it, and my mom and her mom were both bakers. I mean, they as a hobby, right? My grandmother more so than mine, but neither one of them ever made cookies, and there were cookie recipes in this notebook. I go, what the hell? And there was something like for an onion pie. Like, I know damn well he never made that. So where did this come from? It's, but it
Right?
was my mom's handwriting.
Oh, wow. Maybe those were just experiments that didn't work out.
Maybe, I don't know. I haven't tried any of them yet, except for the ones that I knew. Okay, yeah, I recognize
Yeah,
this
you're like, I
recipe.
know these ones.
Yeah,
You'll have to try
but
one of the cookie ones just to see what happens.
I need to. I need
Yeah,
to
just
because
experiment. Maybe the next time you're experiencing burnout, maybe cook one of the cookie recipes.
yeah,
I think what Jay Shetty in this segment was talking about was identifying what cures us of the burnout, what we need to do in the process to get through that burnout, whether it's physical exercise, aromatherapy, through cooking, anything. I mean, it's like it's going to be different for everyone. But the thing of it is when you're still on this earth, and no day is perfect, and but when you are going through those trials and tribulations, find out what it is that you got to go through to make yourself feel better. Whether it is aromatherapy, if it's favorite music, it could be music, it could be physical exercise. But I think Jay Shetty wants us to identify what cures us of it to make our minds feel a lot better.
Yeah.
Because at the end of the day, sometimes we need that. It's like the medicine for our brains. We need that for our senses.
For sure.
And to be aware it's not doing nothing because that's not the answer.
Right,
No.
Unless you're just sleep deprived.
right,
Unless your body really needs rest, right? Because sometimes that
Yeah.
is the case. Sometimes, we just need rest and we maybe do need to do nothing, right? But other times it could be, we just need to switch gears in our brain, right? Because if you're working at a computer all day, like it's easy for us to do that, right? Especially in our business. And we're
Mhm.
sitting at computers looking at screens all day. And, sometimes it just helps to get away from that and put our minds on something else that's productive, right? But maybe not in the productive manner of like making money work, you know?
right. Well, Christine, you got any final thoughts?
Nope, I'm good.
Michael,
Bring us home.
any final thoughts, Mike? Well, folks, as you can see, we are not licensed therapists, nor do we tend to be. But we do have fun with this app on Calm called Jay Shetty, who is a motivational speaker and gives us a lot of insight and inspiration and also some good knowledge for us to carry our day through. We certainly hope you will come back uh, for more Jay Shetty as we continue to help each other out, bring more motivation, inspiration to your day. So, with that being said, I hope everyone has a fantastic day out there. Please don't forget to like, share, and subscribe for more of this, and leave a friendly comment if you could. Peace.
Deuces.